Hey, welcome back to the channel. I'm Trent, and tonight I'm retying a fly that I tied very early on when I started making these videos. I think I tied this with just using my phone. So I've upgraded my cameras, my lights, my sound, so I thought I'd retie the fly. And it's a Pheasant Tail Nymph. Hands down one of my most favorite flies to fish, to tie. I always have some in my box. They're super productive. I really encourage any of you all to tie some of these flies. Have them in your box as well. So it's crazy easy to tie. You just need a pheasant tail and some peacock curl is the only and some wire for your ribbing. I'm using copper. Other than that, it's the hook, and I'm tying this with a bead head, but you could tie it the exact same way without the bead head. Sit back, enjoy yourself, and let's get into the tie. Alright, so I went ahead and put the hook in the vise, and I'm using actually a TMC R200. I like the way the slope on the hook gives to my fly. So before I start the thread, I went ahead and put on a gold bead to size to that fly. I think it's probably about a 303 size hook, or 3.3 rather. So let me go ahead and I'm just going to put some lead. Now this bead is more than enough weight for this. But all I'm doing with this weight here, this lead I'm putting in, is twofold. I can push it right up underneath that bead, and that'll help hold that bead centered for me. So next thing we'll do is go ahead and start the thread right behind the wire, and then I'm going to wrap into the wire because I want to keep that nice and secured so it doesn't try to spin later on me. Alright, so now I'm just going to make some wraps, moving back, and I'm going to tie this in. I left the barb on here just for a visual. I would clip it before, or crush it before I fish, but I just want my thread to go back to where the barb of the hook is. So we'll clip that off. So the first thing we do is, for this Pheasant Tail Nymph, is I've just got some fibers off of, I'll show you, off of just a pheasant tail feather. So they don't have to be lined up or anything special when you put them on, but I just want just 3 or 4 fibers, and I like them to stick back just a little bit beyond the bend of the hook. Not anything too far, too crazy. And I'm just doing some loose wraps, and I'm just going to collect that all the way forward, and then tighten up the wraps as I come back. Now you can see that's kind of rolled on me a little bit from thread torque. That's normal. Just go back and capture that, and I'm going to clip off this excess. Now I've jokingly said in the past the materials to tie this fly can all be gotten at Michael's or Hobby Lobby kind of place, because really, feather wise, you just need a pheasant tail feather and some peacock curl. And I've got, it's just a little piece of brass, and I want to say this is a small wire, and the wire that you use for the ribbing on this fly is always, you want to gauge it to the size of the fly and the hook you're going to tie on. So just bend that out of the way like so. Then we just come back again. So for the body of this fly, I'm going to use about 3 or 4, again, material off that feather. Same stuff I use for the tail. And I'm just going to kind of come in and catch that. Come all the way back, and then I'm going to wrap forward to roughly where the thorax will be. Now, this material, a lot of folks will kind of twist it and make it almost corded up. You don't want to do that. You want to keep these fibers together as you know, a set of 3 or 4, whatever you're using. Oop. And then you can you want to wrap them flat as they come around. So let me get this again. This time I'm going to do it with the hackle pliers, which I probably should have done the first time. So there we go. So now you'll see a lot easier without my paws being in the way. See, that one just came out, so we'll just clip it. And then we're just gonna keep coming forward. And if you're tying this on a really large hook, which you can, you may have to stop and tie this off and tie in new material if it's too big. You know, if the shank of the hook is a little too long for you. So we're coming up. I'm going to reposition this hackle plier because I want to get one more wrap in. Just like so. And then come up under, go over the top, just capture everything there. Okay, oh, bump the camera, sorry about that. We'll just come up under, clip that free. Alright, I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little tighter on this. There we go. Now, you notice when I did the peacock, or the pheasant rather, I came towards me. Now I'm going to go up and over away from me with the wire, the ribbing. This is called counter wrapping. It adds a lot of strength to the fly. So we're done with that, and I always pull off more wire than I need for the fly I'm tying. That way I can have plenty. So what I've done is I'm just going to hold the hook steady. It's not one to break for me. And then you can just helicopter that off. So right here is the transition point where I'm going to go and put in the material for the thorax. So next thing we'll do is I'm just going to come in here, tie this material down. So this will be the wing case. Here in just a little bit. Like so. Clip that off. Now the Pheasant Tail Nymph is a classic streamer power nymph pattern. I strongly suggest tying up and having some in, you know, different sizes. This one would be kind of big to have, but you would want them in different sizes, and you want them in your box. just because they are a really great fly to have. So now the thorax of this fly is peacock herl. So you can just get yourself one little peacock herl. And then we're just going to go up over the top, and I'm going to make touching wraps. Just fill in that space, like so. Come back. Tie that off. I used to pull and just like yank my materials and break them free. But I've had a few where that didn't work and I shot my hook across the room. So now I just take a second and cut it. So now I'm just tying in this wing case like so. Come around front. Now, I've got 6 pieces here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab 3 of them, bring them on my side. Okay. So, give a couple wraps. I'm going to take 3 of them and put them on the other side. A couple wraps. And then I just like to come through with my scissors, clip those off, make the legs like so. So there is the Pheasant Tail Nymph, one of my favorite flies to tie as well as fish. If you have any questions or comments about this fly, please drop them below. I'd love to hear from you. And until next time, I hope to see you around the vise.